talking about the Mitt Romney pick of Paul Ryan as his vice presidential nominee. And joining us now to talk about this, get his reaction and his general thought about it, is Michael Steele. He's former RNC chairman, MSNBC contributor, former lieutenant governor of Maryland, and works with Lanny Davis at the Purple Nation Solutions. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Hey, great to be with you, Derek. How's it going, man?
It's going good. I haven't seen you in a while, but
I know.
You're too damn busy running around the country. You got to knock that off.
I know, exactly.
Take a break.
I got a lot from the family, you know.
Well, all right. Let's see. When you, I assume you knew this yesterday, if not before. When you first heard it, what was your thought?
I thought it was, as a Republican, as a conservative, hey, it's a great pick. It's exciting. Clearly, it's brought another level of energy to the campaign. I know a lot of folks, you hear the word bold, pick and choice being thrown around. I don't see it as much bold as I see it as appropriate. I think in many respects that he wound up representing the best in, Rob Portman, the best in Pawlenty. Rob Portman, who's got the policy wonkish kind of side of the equation. Pawlenty, who brings, a lot of that passion and energy with the base, the Sam's Club type Republican conversation. And so you have in Paul Ryan someone who can cut between the noises that are out there on the economy and debt. At the same time, he's able to bring to the party, to the dance, a lot of the party faithful who are kind of sitting on the sidelines right now. So I think he is an appropriate pick for what Mitt Romney ultimately hopes to achieve in this campaign, elevating the conversation about policy as opposed to the personal, and focusing on the difference between he and Obama. The downside, I think, potentially, is Romney has wanted to run this as a referendum on this administration in the last 4 years. Can't do that now. It becomes a clear philosophical and political choice between the right to left, conservative, liberal, government versus private sector. And so that dynamic is something I hope that they've accounted for, I'm sure they have, as they go forward.
We really will be given a stark choice between two different visions of the future of this country.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
The reaction from the media has been mixed, but what you'd expect. On the right in the media, they're very happy. On the left in the media, they're going crazy, talking about ending Medicare as we know it, even though PolitiFact named that as their lie of the year last year.
Right.
Given the viciousness of the campaign thus far from the left, and, Mitt Romney's killing wives and avoiding taxes and everything else, and now we're just going to get rehashed of that video of the Paul Ryan lookalike throwing grandma off a cliff. He's going to be blamed for running grandma over by a reindeer. I mean, there's nothing that they won't blame him on. Do you expect Paul Ryan and to bring something to the ticket in as far as response goes?
Oh, yeah.
Romney's response has been good but tepid and almost slow. And the first few stabs at certain responses have been fumbles. Hopefully Ryan's ability to think quickly on his feet, do you think that will help add this, plus his knowledge of policy?
Well, the answer to that question lies in how the Romney campaign actually plans to use Paul Ryan. If it's more of a traditional role, then I suspect between now and the convention, Ryan will peak, and after the convention, the focus will shift, as appropriately it should, to the presidential nominee, and the focus and emphasis will be on what Romney's saying and doing, and Ryan will basically be used to, when things get out of hand rhetorically, to hit back, but largely to raise money and to keep the base going generally. If they're looking at him to bring to the table what we've seen Paul Ryan bring to the table up to this point, an ability to go toe-to-toe with the President of the United States and question him directly, and to contradict his assertions about his budget, meaning Ryan's budget, and so forth, then that will definitely almost allow him to be the Joe Biden, if you will, of the Republican ticket. Then you're looking for a very dynamic race, one in which the Democrats ought to be very careful with what they say about what they say, perpetrating lies and falsehoods, getting the Pinocchios on the facts, if you will, because Ryan will be there in the cut ready to push back hard and directly, which will free up, I think, and this is how I would do it, free up Romney to be Romney and to be above it all and to be the businessman who wants to come in with, the plan to solve the problems while his vice presidential choice is out there in the muck and mire pushing back on the craziness from the left.
We're talking with Michael Steele, former RNC chairman, lieutenant governor of Maryland, and holder of more jobs. You're the reason I think we have a high unemployment rate is you're holding all the jobs. But if you want to weigh in on this, the number here is 888-630-9625. We can get to your calls in the next segment. But, Mr. Steele, Michael, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this puts Wisconsin in play at all? And do you think it helps close any gaps, real or perceived, in swing states like Ohio or Florida?
No.
Larry Kudlow was just on, and he didn't think so necessarily.
Paul Ryan was elected in a congressional district that Barack Obama won in 2008.
Only with 51% of the vote, though.
Well, 51% is all you need, right? Last time I checked.
Well, that's true, but then since then we've had the election and the recall election where the Republicans did quite well.
Whether vice presidential candidates, nominees have coattails has largely been debunked over the last 20 or 30 years of presidential campaigns. The bottom line is people go to vote for the president. They don't go vote for vice president. What he's able to do is he can help express, explain, and lay out the Romney narrative in a state like Wisconsin. But remember, you're only talking about Paul Ryan. I think polls have shown, even in the state of Wisconsin, not a whole lot of people, are ultra familiar with him. So, he's never won statewide before. So statewide name ID will probably be lower than one would expect being from the state. That's because he's from a congressional district. So we have to keep these things in perspective. That's not to say it won't have an impact. That's not to say that people won't respond because he's from Wisconsin. But I'm not going to go out there and mortgage the house on the Romney team today winning Wisconsin. Let's see how he's able to go out, make the case, set the argument in motion, and how the people then respond to his role on behalf of the Obama team. Because remember, there's still a whole lot of tickler spots here that have yet to be exploited and explored by both the right and the left. Because remember, for all the darlings that, are out there loving him right now, and you break it down, he voted for TARP. He voted for, the Bush Medicare reforms. So he can't get out there necessarily and start talking, some great fiscal hawk when his voting record, which was now 13 years worth of record to explore, may have some holes that will need to get filled. So let's see how it plays out. But right now, in this moment, he changes the dynamic of the debate. He gives Romney the lift that he needed coming off of what was obviously and arguably a winning summer politically for the president. And now between now and the convention, he's able to sort of shift the conversation a bit and then hopefully springboard out of that convention with a lot of momentum that was brought by this pick, a great speech at the convention, and a base that's ready to go out there and turn out the vote.
Yeah, one thing this will do for sure is excite the Tea Party base for a while, because if they focus on anything in particular, it's fiscal issues, and this is the guy on fiscal issues. But
this is the guy on fiscal issues.
On the left, it's going to, your next appearance on MSNBC, next time you're on Hardball, you might want to bring a clear sheet of plastic like you're in the front row of a Gallagher concert, because I think Chris Matthews is going to be spitting mad, and you're going to want to hold that up when he goes off about, ending Medicare as we know it, privatizing Social Security, killing old people, killing women, and all of this stuff. What do you see happening from the left as far as criticisms that will have any sort of legs? I mean, we know the over-the-top ones. He's going to end Medicare. He's going to throw grandma out on the street as she eats cat food and deny her her medicine. But, the substantive ones from the serious people, what do you see that's going to be a problem for them? I think it's
going to be more measured. They recognize that while Paul Ryan, has some weak spots, you just listed some of them, and, that they would obviously want to go after. He is someone who's put together a comprehensive budget. He is partnered up with Ron Wyden. Senator Wyden, to come up with, a modified approach on Medicare. So he's one of these guys who, has been very articulate about trying to work with the administration, unlike the language you hear out of the Senate with McConnell saying, our sole purpose is to make him a one-term president. There's going to be much harder to cast those types of aspersions against someone like Paul Ryan, because in the House, certainly on the Budget Committee, he worked to try to get Democrats, particularly those moderate Democrats, to the table to sort of create an atmosphere where they can get something done. I think they'll be measured. I think that they will be more intellectual in their attacks on him, as opposed to the knee-jerk throw Granny over a cliff kind of stuff.
How long until somebody plays the race card? Be honest.
In what respect?
In any way against Paul Ryan. He wants to gut the programs for the poor.